If you're here watching this video, you're here for one of two reasons. One, it just popped up on your feed, got a little bored, clicked on it. Or two, you're hard stuck in the lower ranks. Gold, plat, diamond, even champ. And you want to know how I got out of champ into grand champ and what you can learn to escape those ranks of hell. Don't get me wrong, it took me 9 years to escape the lower ranks and finally hit grand champ. And I'm only grand champ 1, so it's not like Zen or Justin. However, I can still give you thoughtful insight about, how to just escape these ranks, what to do in ranked, what to train, and just what I personally did to finally hit GC 1 and 2s. Now, before I get into it and, help you guys out of the low ranks, please consider subscribing. Helps me out a ton. It's free. You can always unsubscribe later. And also lets me know if, you're in the Rocket League content. And, just I appreciate the support. Now, let's dive in to help you boys get unstuck. Alright, first tip. This might seem like an annoying and super obvious one, but just play ranked. You're probably sitting at home and you're like, well, I already do that. Well, you should do it more. Especially if you're below diamond, just play ranked, because there's nothing you can truly learn in free play below diamond. The half flip, please, and the wave dash. But anything like below diamond, you do not. Just play the video game. You'll get better over time. I promise you. And if you are in the higher ranks, I just encourage you to make playing ranked your main form of practice. Because the more in-game reps you see, the more different players you encounter, the more play styles you encounter, the more that you can be prepared for, be ready for, adapt, and just the more consistent you'll become. This next tip is for your ranked games, especially if you're a solo queue player. And this is just the way that I personally just approached having unpredictable teammates and a playstyle that kind of fits everyone. I like to call it the force passive method. I don't know, I couldn't think of a name. The main premise of this is one person should always be forcing and the person behind should always be passive. Say for instance, your teammate boomed the ball away and the other team has possession of the ball. If you're the front man, you should go up and make sure that your opponent can't get a free touch into a free 1v1 against your teammate, or even worse, a 1v2 against your teammate. Your main goal should just be getting in the way, bumping, just anything to throw them off so that they can't get that free touch. Now, if you're second man or last man, you want to be as passive as possible. This means if you have someone driving at you with the ball in their car and you're shadow defending, just wait until they do something with it. 90% of the time, below like champ 1, they're gonna do nothing with it and you get a free save. Following this mindset just allows you to think about what you want to do and then know if you're doing it or not. If you're the front man and the other person has the ball, am I forcing or am I playing too passive? And if I'm the last man, am I challenging too much? Should I be playing more back? Like, you can ask yourself these questions and you can really realize that you're not doing these things and you can correct them in game. You just have to have that mindset. You can even tweak it around a little bit. Your teammate's more of a ball chaser, be more passive. If your teammate's more passive, force the ball more, make more plays. It's not like you have to live by a strict code, but it's a good thing to base your playstyle off of, and it keeps you thinking throughout the match to make sure that you're doing the right thing. Now we're going to get into the training segment. This is what I personally think that everyone should train, and what personally helped me be a step ahead of the people in champ, diamond, you watching the video, unless you're like better than me, then hopefully you agree. But for the first thing that I think that you must train if you're going to do free play, if you're going to do custom training, if you're going to do workshop maps, is ground dribbling. And you don't have to be able to musty flick, breezy flick, do all this crazy shit. All you have to do is catch the ball and possess it. Having possession in any early rank is so huge. Many players don't even know what to do against it, and if you know what to do with the ball, you're essentially giving yourself the best chance to score every time you go down the field. You can get the ball in your car, flick it by one, you catch it back on your car, you're in a 1v1. You can flick it off the backboard for your teammate to finish, you could style on them. I think that ground dribbling is just a great way to efficiently score, and especially in the higher ranks. I think this is just a great thing to know how to do consistently, and you and your teammates will thank you for it. Another huge thing that I would personally practice is being able to hit the ball off the wall consistently. And I'm not talking about air dribbles, flip resets, double taps. I'm talking about the ball is up on the wall and you gotta boom it. A lot of people are not expecting a nice accurate wall shot. And you can put that baby on net, you'll generate a lot of goals. But the main purpose of it isn't even for offense, it's for defense, really. Being able to smack the ball away when it's coming up to your net or when it's rolling up to your corner, it really helps, especially when it's kind of high and maybe you're not so good in the air. You can drive up the wall, take a jump off the wall, and smack it away and hopefully save your team from getting scored on. Now, the third and final thing that I personally recommend you train is your shadow defense. Shadow defending is the most optimal way to defend in really any rank. Down in the lower ranks, gold, plat even, you can get away with just playing back post, but once you get up to diamond, definitely champ, you're going to have to be able to shadow defend, because playing back post is going to get you scored on every time. Especially with, one-on-one scenarios where the opponent has the ball on their car with good possession, you have to be able to shadow defend and react to what they're doing. This can be easily trained. You can just look up any really defensive pack. I'm pretty sure there's a really popular pack called Why You Suck Shadow Defense, and I personally use that a lot when I, was training, getting better, on the grind. Though defense doesn't sound that entertaining, the better defense you play, the less you're getting scored on. So that means the less goals you have to score. And learning the skill, I would put this actually as my number one most important tip. Anything you get out of this video, practice shadow defense. There's nothing more annoying than watching your teammate or you yourself just get flicked on every play. And it's all because you're defending inoptimally and putting you at a huge disadvantage, honestly. Alright, that's all I got. Hopefully you could take something away from this. Maybe one tip that maybe you weren't training hard enough. Maybe you weren't thinking about, or, maybe I really changed your ranked sessions around and helped you win. That's my goal. So if you watched all the way through and this helped you out, again, please consider, liking the video, subscribing, sharing with your awful duo, and thank you guys. See ya.